Uh, been a long time since I've done video, but today I had somebody, recently I had somebody ask me how to do a screen capture. Well, they didn't ask me, they said they wanted to. I was like, okay, I'll show you how to do a screen capturing on a computer, or screencasting, or whatever on earth you want to call it. I'm currently not using my screencaster program. I'm using the NVIDIA Shadowplay, just so I can demonstrate how to use the screencaster that I'm going to recommend to you. This screencaster will work on any computer. It may not work very well, but the screencaster that I'm going to be showing you how to use is called Open Broadcast Studio, OBS. Open Broadcaster Studio, link right here. I will put this in the description if it'll ever load. This thing is awesome. It works on Mac, Windows, Linux, complete cross-platform 7 and 8, probably 10 when it comes out. It is such an awesome program. Using it is a little complicated, so we're going to run through that now. Alright, so after you've installed the program, this is going to be blank. There will be no scenes, no games, no programs, no window capture, no sound capture, nothing. I mean, go ahead and turn all those off. Yeah, I set up quite a few things. Alright, I think there might be a scene and a window capture. For now, ignore that. Go to Settings, and go to Settings. Under the settings, this is all the important stuff. This is the stuff that can really annoy you. In general, you want English, setting, profile. Don't know about that. Ignore that. I'd recommend notification area icon and minimize to notification area. Both. Whenever you switch settings, it will ask you, hey, do you want to save and apply? Hit yes. Alright, we go to encoding. There's going to be 3 options for you. X264, QuickSync, and NVIDIA INVEC. NVENC. I think that's how you pronounce it, INVEC. If you have a new, by new, I'm going to put quotations of saying, I think it's a 460 or above, they have the Shadowplay feature. Don't quote me on the 460 or above. I know a 550 Ti has it. I think all the 500 series has it. 600, 700, 800 series, and the new 900 series. All the Titans have it. I don't know if 400s have it. If you have a NVIDIA GPU, use this NVIDIA INVEC. This thing is so much better. But fear not, if you don't have an NVIDIA GPU, one quick thing, the INVEC encoder does not load your GPU, does not load your CPU at all. Not a bit. Not a single little bit. But if you don't have an NVIDIA GPU, you're going to use X264. 264 will use your processor, your CPU, to do all the encoding. This will tax your computer. If you're playing a game that normally uses 100% CPU, your game will lag, because using this X264 encoder will load your CPU down. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're just gonna do screencasting like GIMP or something, GIMP can tolerate not having a full CPU to run with, but believe me, it is much better if you use this NVIDIA encoder. But for quality, set the max bitrate, KB per S, kilobits per second, set it to 10,000. Just automatically set it to 10,000. Make sure the CBR padding is checked. Custom buffer, you don't really have to do anything with that. Audio encoding, leave it at ACC, 48 kilohertz, 128 bit rate in the stereo channel. All that, just leave that. If you're going to upload to YouTube, this is even more than necessary, right? Alright. Go to broadcast settings. Hit yes. Alright. Broadcast. If you're not going to do live YouTube or Twitch streaming, select File Output Only. Okay? If you've got it set to live stream, you can do the service, Twitch, Good Game, Daily Motion, YouTube, Cyber Game, all these different ones. Or you can browse. You'll enter in... I mean, I haven't done any of this. So I have no idea. I cannot help you on this, but it should be fairly self-explanatory. If you're a streamer, then it'll be pretty self-explanatory. And then you can also automatically save the stream to a file, which I just noticed. But we're going to switch to file output only. You're going to choose where it says file path. This is where it outputs your finished file. If you want to know where, then click browse and pick a spot. And then click file name, the encoding format, .mp4. There's either flash video file or MP4s. Select MP4. Save. Click a file name. Click save. I didn't, just because I've already got it set. Replay buffer length. Don't know what that is. Replay buffer file path. Also don't know what that is. Next you're going to go to video. And if you have video adapter. I only have a GeForce GTX 760. Because of what processor I chose, I only have a dedicated GPU. If you have a i-series chip with an onboard GPU, you're going to have two options. If you have an i-series with onboard GPU, you'll only have one option. The Intel, whatever it's going to be. It'll be different depending upon what rig you have. If you have an i-series with onboard GPU and a dedicated GPU, you'll have two. You'll have your either ATI, Radeon, NVIDIA, whatever, and then name of your graphics processor, or the Intel/AMD integrated graphics processor. Whatever your monitor's hooked up to, be it your dedicated or your integrated card, make sure that one is selected. So my monitor is only hooked up to my GPU, which is a 760. So select that. Base resolution. This is going to depend upon what monitor you have. If you have a wide monitor, your aspect ratio is going to be 16:9. Or if you have an ultra wide, it's going to be 21:9. I mean, quite a bit of this, you actually have to know what it is. My monitor is 1920 by 1080, which is aspect ratio of 16:9. It'll automatically configure the aspect ratio. Or if you don't want to have to manually figure it out, you can select monitor and choose which monitor you have. If you've only got one, it's going to be easy. I've only got one. Monitor number 1. If you've got a triple or a double or a quad or 15 monitors, there'll be 1 through 15. But I'm just going to select one. Resolution downscale. Leave this exactly like it is. Do not downscale. Unless your computer has problems processing it. Then you're going to want to downscale as little as you can. If you have to downscale, I'd recommend first one, 1.5, is 1280 by 720. This is a standard. 960 by 540 is a standard. But recommendation, do not downscale if possible. Set your FPS at 30. More does not matter. Unless you just want to say, haha, I'm running at 60 FPS. Minimum 24. Do not go below 24. 30 is very recommended. If you're using... Alright, I have to note this. If you have Windows 7 with a custom toolbar, also called an arrow system, like here, somewhere you'll be able to choose your Windows styling. If you use an arrow style, OBS says it can cause problems and cause your screencaster to crash. I have arrow enabled. I have custom toolbars, custom start screen, all that. I leave I leave this unchecked, so where it's not disabling arrow. And every time you click start recording, it'll pull up an error saying, "Hey, arrow's running. Do you want to do anything to it? It could cause problems. Warning, warning," that kind of thing. I always just click run it anyway, and I have not had a single problem. Then again, I've got a lot of computing overhead due to me using the InVec encoder. If you have to, if it causes crashes, check this box to disable arrow. If you don't check it and you start encoding or start recording and it doesn't pull up anything, you're fine. You've got no issues. Otherwise, I'd recommend leaving it unchecked, because every time you check disable arrow, every time Open Broadcast Studio is open, it reverts everything, and it causes a lot of issues on my computer. Alright, audio, save settings. Alright, desktop audio device, I just leave it at default. Microphone and auxiliary, also default. This will just use, like, if you're playing a game and say you have two different types of speakers hooked up and you're only playing through one of them, it'll use that. That's your default Windows default sound system. If you're using a microphone, it'll, like, if you go to your sound options, right click on it, click playback devices, and it pulls up all this. Whatever has the little check mark beside it is your default. This program will pull your default. If not, you can pick whatever you want. I just leave it at default just because it's easier. I don't use push-to-talk. If you need to, you can use push-to-talk. Desktop boost multiplier. This will take your input volume, like from a game or something, and boost it X amount of times if it's really low. Like if you're recording and the recording is really low but it sounds perfect to you, then use the boost multiplier. Same thing for the mic/auxiliary boost multiplier. Mic sync offset is if your computer is having problems and it's very important to have your audio synchronized. You'll change this offset in milliseconds. Other than that, that should be good. Push-to-talk delay in milliseconds. So that's basically you push your push-to-talk button, and 200 milliseconds or 0.2 of a second later, it'll engage. I don't even use push-to-talk. I just always talk. Probably annoying. Alright, hotkeys. This is different upon what you want. It all defaults to none. I put start recording at Control F11 and stop at Control F10. I always forget to use them. This is just if you want to do hotkeys and stuff. Advanced. Let's see. If you have a multi-threaded processor, basically any new processor, laptop, desktop, anything, use multi-threaded optimizations. This is insanely helpful. Process priority class, set it at normal. It should be fine at normal. Alright, x264 CPU preset very fast. That's what mine is apparently defaulted at. What this will do is, if you set it to, let's see, it's got a tooltip. Recommended is very fast. The lower you set it, like fast, medium, slow, slower, the better quality you'll get out of your video at sacrifice of chewing more processor up. Encoding profile, there's only two options. I don't even know what the other option is for. It won't pull up a tooltip. Don't use X2 custom encoder settings unless you know what you're doing. Encode in full range, don't have that checked. If you have a very high refresh rate monitor, like 120 Hz monitor, you'll probably want to check 61 through 128 FPS entry and video settings, just so you can capture that ultra high refresh rate. Otherwise, probably don't even worry about it. Network, that is for streaming. You probably don't have to worry about it if you don't stream. Audio, I'd say probably don't even worry about that. Quick sync encoder. My computer will not allow me to use quick sync, so I cannot mess with any of this. If you need to know more, look it up online. OBS quick sync encoder settings, and there'll probably be thousands of tutorials for you. Microphone noise gate. This will figure out your close and open threshold. What this will do is if you have background noise, you set your close threshold right above that. Ignore. Alright, sorry. Like this, alright. So, if I just stop talking, like this, this green bar represents input audio. If you set your close threshold, like if you have no other sound, set your close threshold just a tiny, tiny bit below the top of the green bar. Like, I'll stop talking, I'll show you. Right there. Alright. So I set it just below the close threshold. And if you set open, let's see. Yeah, set your open threshold a little bit above that. There you go, like that. So when you start talking and your volume reaches above the open threshold, it will open the volume back up so it can hear you. When it drops to this mark, it will close it and it'll mute. So if you have a bunch of background noise like I do right now, I've got a fan going, which you can probably hear. It will help you with that. So just mess with that. You have to click enable preview to see the threshold and stuff. I'm going to disable that. Alright. Scene switcher. I haven't done anything with scene switcher. I have no idea. But if you've been following all this correctly, you should be alright. I'm going to switch back to the NVEC encoder just because I have access to it. Yes, make sure all my other settings are still right. Alright, they should be. Alright, click OK. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the list of scenes. Right click and click Add Scene. Name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it Scene 2. Alright, go to your Sources panel, which should be empty, like this. Right click, click Add, or hover over Add. It is going to pull up Window, Monitor, Image, Image Slideshow, Text, Video Capture, and Game Capture. Depending upon what you want to record is going to vary what you want to use. Video Capture Device, I'll just name it that, will pull up like a webcam or a connected video camera, right? If we go back to Add, Game Capture, just name it Game. You open a list of applications and it'll record just that application. So it's real good if you do full screen games. Then you'll launch the game, come over here, and pick the game from this list, and it will only record that game, even if you switch, right? Monitor capture is generally what I'll do, and it just captures your whole monitor, all of it, all the space, which is, yeah, right here is the arrows enabled. It is recommended to disable arrow when using monitor, or you will have low FPS. I don't have any problems with this. If you want a detailed explanation, I suppose I can give you. Alright, window capture. I'll just name random window capture. You'll open... Let's refresh. Ooh. It is not pulling up any windows for me. I don't know why that's doing that. Alright, we'll go back to monitor capture. You'll select what monitor you want to use. We're just gonna... I've only got one. Generally, you want to capture mouse cursor as well. Most of this should be fairly self-explanatory. Captured layer windows. So, like this is a layered window, I think. It's either that or it's the effect it's putting on it. I don't recall. Compatibility mode. No idea what that is. Point filtering. I also don't know what that is. It's disabled on mine. Subregion. I'm pretty sure subregion selects a region out of that to capture. So like if you didn't want to capture your toolbar, subregion would just go a little bit above it. Color key is used for chroma key, I think. Also, don't entirely know on that. Also, it says a warning down here on 7 and Vista, unless you absolutely need to capture your whole desktop, window capture or game capture is much preferred. It will boost your performance a lot. But if you absolutely have to have your entire desktop, then monitor capture is what you're going to want. I have not used image slideshow, text, or video capture, well, or text. Those three, I've never used them. I can't tell you, I'm not even going to open it. Video capture device, random name, is you're going to select what webcam you want to use, or what device. I've got two. I've got my Microsoft webcam, and my FaceRig virtual camera. FaceRig You can look it up. It's an awesome program. It creates a virtual camera, which is how it's doing this. But you'll select between your two cameras or whatever. Generally, flip image vertically or horizontally is only if you need to. Deinterlacing, I don't need any of that. Let's see. OBS is really nice if you hover over stuff. It'll give you a tooltip on what it is and what it'll do. If I can get a tooltip to come up here. No, it won't let me pull up any tooltips. Video, custom resolution. Generally recommend not doing custom resolution just because it can kind of mess with stuff. So I generally don't do that. Audio input device. If this is the only thing you're going to be using, then you'll have to use a microphone. Now this webcam has one on it, which is this guy, 5 Microsoft Life K. This thing is horrible. So I would use my USB headset, which is this guy, USB audio device. But generally what I'll do is I'll have this, and then I'll have something in the background recording all the audio. Chroma key is, it'll take, like if you have a white background, you set it white, and it will ignore all that. Or if you have a green screen, you set this color to your background color, and it will make it invisible. So it'll just be see-through. It'll just be you sitting there, which is really nice. Alright. And game capture is pretty easy. You'll select your game from the list. Generally, don't stretch the image to the screen. It will make it look really funny. Invert cursor on click, no idea. Anti-cheat compatibility hooking. Use only if necessary. It's very important. Like if your game starts pulling up you're cheating, then enable this. I think that's what that's for. I haven't had any games tell me I'm cheating yet, so probably don't need it. Only if necessary. It says right there, only if necessary. Enable alpha blending. Don't know what that is. Alpha is invisible. It's not existent. So probably don't need that. Let me go ahead and add a video capture device, my Microsoft camera, and I'll add my monitor capture. Okay, yeah, if you leave arrow enabled, then it will pull this up. I'm ignoring it, just because I've got enough computer power. If this works, alright, so now you're here. You've selected your two scenes, or one. You can do one if you want. Yeah, I'll do webcam first. So I've got my webcam. You can't see it. If you want to see what the scene is going to look like before you start recording, you can click Preview Stream. Even though this says Stream, it's streaming to your computer or whatever you set it up to. Alright, incompatibility hook. This is... Alright, if you have Fraps, Asus/MSI, anything, or DX Troy, this will pull up. I have MSI Afterburner on my computer. You can, if you click ignore, it will ignore it and it might crash. If you have crashes, you will want to follow this. I've tried, and I can't seem to find anything. You can click retry and it'll just do the same thing. It just won't help. You can click abort, which will just cancel it, but I'm going to click ignore. Hopefully this doesn't crash my current screencaster. Alright, it didn't. So, you can preview your scene. I'll go ahead and adjust my camera so you can see me. In preview, you can click, well, it'll pull up your current audio volume on microphone and speakers. If you click it, it will ignore it. Like click, and you can't hear any sound in the background. Right? If I click this, you can't hear me. Like that. You can't hear me now. But you can, because we're not using this program. You can limit the volume, or whatever. You can do that on both of them. And if you don't like placement, you can click Edit Scene. And now a red box appears around me. I can move this anywhere I want to. I can stretch it, I can shrink it. This is really nice for game streamers. Playing a game and have your face. You can limit how much your face is visible, move it around, down, up, center, hey, for front and center even. The other really nice thing is Open Broadcaster will let you do this on the fly. You can do it in the middle of recording. So you can be recording your game, and the game seems to switch around enough that you need to reposition your camera, open OBS again, grab it, move it, and it will actually move it mid-recording. It is awesome. Alright, so whenever you're done editing, unclick Edit Scene and you can't do anything anymore, right? Alright, I'm going to click Stop Preview. If you like the preview, you can click Start Recording, and it will record it either to the file path you've specified, or it will stream it to the stream that you specified, or whatever. And that should actually be a fairly conclusive tutorial. If you want to record two devices, I'm going to go and do that. Preview stream, ignore. Don't crash. Alright, it didn't crash. So this is now doing my desktop and my monitor, or video capture. Now you'll notice, there is none of me on here, right? Click Stop Preview, go to your video capture device, change order, or hover over order, click Move Up. This is list dependent, or order dependent. Stuff on top is displayed on top. Stuff on bottom is displayed on bottom. I'll then click Preview Stream, ignore, and now I'm back. I'm in the corner again. Edit, I can move it around wherever I want, and you can see it changing in the background just because it's funny how OBS works like this. The infinite mirror of infiniteness. Full screen. Oh my goodness, that's creepy looking. Alright. That was too much for my face. Okay. And you can edit it around, do whatever. You have to click Stop Preview before you can start recording. I'm pretty sure that's everything I needed to list. If you can think of anything else that I missed, don't hesitate to tell me, and I will try and make another video on how to fix it. Maybe. I'm going to remove those, because I don't need them. I've got all my other stuff. Another thing is if you make a scene, if you have two scenes, you cannot use two sources in two different scenes. It won't work. It will ignore one of them. So stuff you want to use at the same time has to be in the same scene. If I did Blender and Face Rig, they'd have to be in the same scene to work. Otherwise, they just won't work. That's the only other thing that I can think of at the moment. If you have any problems, comment on this video, and I will either explain how to solve said problem, or if it's lengthy and deserves enough attention, I will make a video on how to solve said problem. If you have any questions at all, comment and I will answer. I'm pretty good about answering. If you liked this video, you should probably hit the like button, just to show me that you liked it, you know, right? And if you didn't like, then hit dislike, but that doesn't make me feel all that good, but it's a free country, do whatever you want. If you want to see more videos, click the subscribe button. There will eventually be more videos. And if I'm not forgetting anything, which I don't think I am, then that will be all for me today. Before I forget, OBS version 6.651b. I don't know if they've updated it. This probably is the current version of the video. And that's it. That's it. Alright. I will see you guys later. Maybe. Potentially. Hopefully. See ya. Bye.